Remember where you were when you first heard of the Mandela effect?
Nothing can stop the Mandela effect, and nothing can stop what is coming. So put on your tinfoil hats and hold on for this ride.
You take the blue pill, the story ends, and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today. Welcome to the desert of the real.
Remember where you were when you first heard of the Mandela effect?
Hello, my name's Jose Martinez, and I'm affected with the Mandela effect, but with a different effect. I don't believe my reality is changing. Nothing physical is changing. That is impossible. Now the Mandela effect people are trolling me now because I don't believe in changes. So they're coming to my channel and commenting that I'm no longer affected with the Mandela effect, that I'm an imposter, I'm a fake. Yay! I guess I got kicked out from the Mandela effect community. I'm all alone now. Thank you very much. All because I said nothing is changing. What you're seeing are differences, not changes. Here's a perfect example. This is Brian Staveley's show, and he's going to show a picture of an airplane, and he's saying that all planes change the motors to the front of the wings. That is material, physical material, and I'm against the changes because that is impossible for physical material to change. So the only explanation that I have is that travelers that came with our memories, that came from our Earth, from the Sagittarius arm, where the orange sun is or the yellow sun is, came here to the Orion Earth with the white sun and brought along his memory of the airplane. And he created that airplane on that PlayStation 3 or 4. So anyways, it's not changes. It's a drawing or something that he drew out of his memory because he was on an Earth where the planes had the engines under the wings. And that's what I remember. But to me, it is impossible for all the planes on this planet to have changed the motors up to the front. No, that only means that we're on a different planet where the planes have the different design. And to me, the motors are creating more lift for the airplane, and it's a lot faster that way.
Look at this. This is what a commercial airliner looks now. Look at the wing. Look at the engine. Wait. Now, this isn't a redesign.
What the fuck?
It looks so stupid. How does that even work?
Mike, that's not a redesign, Mike. You can go back 20, 30 years.
So according to history, Brian just said they always been like that. The engines are on the front of the wing. They always been like that. But why people are saying it changed? It never changed. It's always been like that. That's what the Mandela effect is. Misinformation from Brian Stavely.
They're gonna look like that.
I've been on over 30 airplanes. I've been on over 30 flights, individual flights when I was a kid,
Yep.
from like 8 to 18. And I would just always sit by the window. I'd always see the wing. It was always underneath the wing.
Yeah, and it's not anymore. There are a couple exceptions. There's like 1737 model that's an exception.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, and I bet if you look at any of you, if you have any pictures, like when you exit on the plane or on the runway, I would tell you to look at those pictures that you have. And now I'm going to show you some residue. So things that we can have for evidence. So it's very important to say, because people will ask, if a photograph or a video exists of something that gets Mandela affected, that photograph or video will change to correlate with the reality. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you took a picture of this airplane when the engine used to be under the wing, but then it changed.
Are you saying like Back to the Future, like when it fades away, when the like
even more wild than that? I mean, it'll literally. I'll show you the thinker statue in a minute, but like literally, dude. Like if you take a picture of, so say you had a Berenstein Bears book, right? Before it got Mandela affected, and you took a picture of it. So your photograph showed the Berenstein Bears book in your room. Say a couple of years goes by, the Mandela effect happens, all the books change. Your photograph will change as well. Okay? Photograph and video recording will as well. Okay? But, so we have other evidence like this. This is what I remember. Can you guys see my screen still?
No.
Put the screen up, Mike. This was a video game. This isn't real, but this is what I remember commercial airliners looking like. Okay, this is a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 game. Just cause
that's how a plane looks.
Yes,
it might have two. It might have two right there.
Yeah, but they don't look like that anymore.
That's fucking wild, bro.
So we have all this evidence. People say we don't have evidence. They modeled these graphics after what a fucking airplane looked like. But this isn't part of the original Mandela effect. The Mandela effect affects the commercial airliners, but not all drawings of it, representations, video games, all of that shit.
And I can point out that when it comes to video games, like programmers actually use diagrams and blueprints, and they're very particular. Like I've seen plumbing systems. Like I'm a plumber. You would have to be a plumber to be able to design it like that. So I know that when they do these planes, it's based on a certain model plane, or it's it's not just some fucking new age thing they drew and just guessed. They usually base it off of they always base it off reality in these types of games.
This is an example when people think that I'm against the Mandela effect. It's when I point out things like this. Brian Stavely is contradicting himself when he says things are changing. And then he says, well, things are not changing because if you go down to your basement and grab a globe or a book of the Berenstein books, and you're going to see the change on it. But he just told you that the book never changed. According to history, it's always been like this. So the physical item never changed. So why is Brian Stavely saying that it changed? It never did. It's always been like this. That's where the confusion of the Mandela effect comes from Brian Stavely's mouth.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I see somebody in chat says I was skeptical coming in, but this is wild. This is why I'm here this is why I started doing Mandela videos, to show people this is very serious. This is way deeper than Curious George and the Monopoly Man. But by the way, those are legit Mandela effects. If anything supernaturally changes retroactively all the way back to its origin point, retroactively all the way back to its origin point, supernaturally changes retroactively all the way back to its origin point, even if you possess it in your house, that's a big deal for me. Even though some people think, oh, what's it matter if an S dropped from this name or a government agency changed? It changed all the way back in the past. Mike, what does the DEA stand for?
The Department of Environmental, or no, what is it? Drugs and I don't know. What is it? I'm smoking over here. I'm losing it over this plane thing. I've been on so many fucking planes. I'm like, how is it gonna get the fucking engine in the front? That don't even make any sense. It rip right off.
Go ahead
the torque would fucking just crack.
They're all like that now, man. They're all like that now, and the engines are a lot louder. There's other little cosmetic changes to the planes too, but then we're getting really in the weeds here, and I don't want to go there right now. But there are other changes, and I know the Mandela people that are watching are probably like, hey, go and show us this and that. I'm going to show you something that's very interesting, right? So I'm going to take the screen share off for a second. If you can, put me on the big screen for a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make me big.
Make you big. That's tough to do, Brian.
Yeah, I know. I need like a magic.
Yeah, he walked right into that.
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't know, man.
Oh, shit. Make you big. That's tough to do, Brian. Make you big. That's tough to do, Brian.
Check it out, right? Famous works of art, monuments, that's all changing as well. Bibles are changing. I showed you land masses. I'm going to show you anatomy in a bit. So again, guys, this is much bigger than just the media changes and products that people try and say, oh, the Mandela effect's stupid. Who cares if this company changed the name? But we will talk about some of those because they're not just companies and logos and brands changing names. They're legit Mandela effects, at least the ones I represent. I can't talk for everybody. Like I said, not everybody has the best discernment. There's some other channels out there that are very good with discernment, and there's some that are obviously shit. Okay, one of the things that's changed a lot.
Things are not changing, Brian. They're different. You're looking at a different body, a different statue, not changed.
And it's actually changed several times incrementally in front of us, which again, when you see something change several times, the idea that it's false memory is just so far out the fucking window. You got a bunch of people observing it, looking for changes, and then it keeps changing in front of them. It's like, so one of them is called the Thinker statue. It's one of the most famous statues in the world. And it used to be like this, okay? Fist of Rodin, fist to the forehead, okay? And its right elbow to its right knee. This is the Thinker pose. Now I am going to go, am I still in a screen share with you or no?
Yeah, you're big. The screen isn't up. Your screen share isn't up. But yeah, go ahead.
Can you put the screen up?
Yeah, you got to put your...
Oh, it's not showing you?
Yeah, you're not up yet.
How about now?
Yeah. It's an airplane again, though.
Yeah, I'm changing it right now.
There was an old TV show.
See Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold, yeah. And oh, for sure. They're going to do it correctly. Yeah, of course.
So this is Arnold doing the exact pose I was just telling you. This pose became famous, obviously from the statue, but bodybuilding to do what he's doing, and they call it the Thinker, okay? Because that's what he was mimicking. He was mimicking the Thinker statue, okay? Now, in this reality, right? And again, this is something with a lot of small cosmetic changes. We'll just talk about the big one. In reality now, his fist went from his forehead under his chin, okay? Now, I want to show you something interesting. Remember what I told you about the photos will change to correlate with the current reality. Mm-hmm. Watch this. So here's the Thinker statue now. You see the fist under the chin?
Yep.
Yeah.
All the statues around the world have changed to correlate with the main one, okay? So they all look like this now. Fist under the chin, okay? But look at the woman that's posing in front of it. She has her fist to her forehead. Now, I'm going to tell you why. She didn't go here and pose the wrong way. She went here before this thing changed. When she went here...
Here we go with Brian Staveley's lies, saying that the statue moved. A statue made out of metal moved. That is impossible. That is physically impossible. So the only explanation is that this lady came from our planet with the memory of the Thinker, fist to the forehead. And he's going to show another clip about students. Yes, we're all affected We all came from a different Earth with a different memory, fist to the forehead. That's proof that we're travelers here. And I consider the changes are indicators, indications that we're on a different Earth. Our memories are correct because we were on a different planet. This is why our memories don't match to this physical airplane and to the metal statue called the Thinker. It doesn't match to our memories.
The fist was to the forehead. This changed, and it changed in her photograph. It didn't change her. It doesn't change the human element, but it changes the thing that's Mandela affected. But it doesn't stop here. Hold on.
Wait.
Because, yeah.
So the photo changed. You're
because
saying
the statue changed, right?
I hear
the
what you're
statue
saying, but you're saying
But
only the
she
photo,
did.
only the statue was affected, even though those are two physical properties.
Well,
Yeah.
because she's not being Mandela affected. Only the statue
No,
was
exactly.
being Mandela affected. So she didn't change, but the actual statue did.
Why didn't she
Yeah.
change in the
Wow.
statue?
Because she's not the Mandela effect. The Mandela
Right.
effect is the Thinker statue and all the official Thinker statues around the world. She could have been picking her. She could be doing that pose. She could be picking her nose. The guy next to her, if there was one, could be picking his ass. They're all going to be the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you more. Check this out. Again. So fist under the chin, right? Clearly, fist under the chin.
Yeah,
Look at homeboy.
yeah.
I got one to really blow your mind now. Check this one out. Fist under the chin. And you got like a whole school field trip, all posing the wrong way. They're all posing the wrong way in front of the statue. Like, how would that even happen, dude? When they went there, this statue had its fist to the
They call
fist
it
to
the
the
thinker
forehead.
because your hand's on your head. That's the correlation there.
Well, because you're thinking.
You're thinking. Yeah.
Right.
Does it
Nah.
look like I'm thinking like this? Nah.
I mean, I guess you could
It's
still.
like you're resting.
But that's not even like comfortable. Who would do that?
Oh well, I'm glad that you said that because you said not even comfortable. Check this out, right? I'm so glad you said not even comfortable. So the thinker statue I showed you was like this, and the right elbow to the right knee, just like Arnold was doing, right? Then he went like this. We watched this. Okay, so we noticed when there was this change, but then the fingers are split under here now. But talk about uncomfortable. The right elbow is now crossed over to the left knee on all of them. On all of them. Yes.
Here's a very important clue that Brian Stavely said when he says, we watched this move, changed from the fist to the chin. That means that we moved to the multiverse, to a different Earth. We watched it move. We watched it change. That means we're on a different Earth with a different thinker that has a different position. The thinker never changed. We are the ones changing. We are the ones moving. The Mandela effect is not about changes. It's about us moving Earths to different Earths. Our memories don't belong here. Our memories belong to a Sagittarius arm constellation. We got moved from Sagittarius to the Orion, where everything is different, not changed. So that proves that we're in a multiverse.
Why isn't his hand like fucking up in the air behind his? Why is it like so subtle? You know, like what? Like the Volkswagen symbol. That's a subtle change, and the fucking.
Well, that's a big deal too. Again, let me elaborate on the Volkswagen. There's a little more meaning to it. I talked about the German takeover, the reality, all these German attacks on U.S. soil now. There's tons of changes with German names. We know that German is Volkswagen's a German auto company. Obviously, we know that. The logo. Now, my first brand new car was a 1997 Volkswagen Jetta GT. I'm not just gonna roll with people telling me I don't know what the emblem on the fucking car looked like. Okay, the V and the W were merged. Okay, the V and the W were merged. Now in this reality, they've always been broken. But there's two Mandela effects there. Volkswagen used to have two spellings. In America, it used to be Volkswagen, like the way we would spell wagon with an O-N. And in Germany, and maybe some other countries near Germany, it was spelled with an E-N. And I know this 1,000,000,000% because back in the day, I used to look in car catalogs for different car parts and stuff to hook up my car. And you would have to know if you were getting an American or a German auto part for your car. And I would know the difference by the two spellings. Now there's only also been one spelling worldwide. The O-N spelling has been completely erased from existence. So it's another German takeover. Now, here's another thing too. We talked about Sinbad earlier. Check this out. So there's an attack now on U.S. soil that was never part of our reality now, with 5,000 Americans dead right over here in North Carolina, okay? And 8 German submarines sunk 500 of our ships. But there was like this dog that they said was like the hero that got America out of it or whatever, right? And they paraded this dog around. Like literally, there's videos of him at the bar and stuff giving interviews. Like,
Here's another example to prove that we're on another Earth. The history here doesn't match with my memory. This event never happened on my Earth. This is new. So that means we're moving to different Earths with different past histories. That's not the Mandela effect, changing things or adding a new history in the history books. That is impossible. Our memories don't belong here. We were on a different Earth with a different memory. We have a different memory, different history. That proves we're on a different Earth. Don't listen to these people. And only listen to facts. There is no way we can prove the Mandela effect because it's all inside our heads, inside our memories.
so ridiculous. The fucking dog's name is Sinbad. And then, and I make more correlations between this and Germany, Sinbad in Germany. What do I find? First thing I find is in Hamburg, Germany, there's a particle accelerator, and the acronym is Sinbad. Okay, like a CERN type device, right? But not only that, when you actually look at the acronym, it doesn't even say Sinbad. It would say Sybad, but they use 2 letters from one word to make sure that the acronym said Sinbad, because they want you to correlate this all together, and they want you to blame the Mandela effect on their particle colliders, which I don't think has anything to do with it. I could be wrong, but I'm sorry. I'm going to stand where I stand on my ground. I don't believe in CERN any more than I believe in the International Space Station.
But once again, your stance is that your theory is that it's a psyop. Chris, before you answer that, what is your theory on what's going on here?
My theory on the Mandela effect?
Yeah, what is it?
That's what I was trying to say earlier. Is I don't know where I stand on what is happening. I definitely don't think it's a simulation. I definitely don't think that, this is some fucking video game simulation we're plugged into like the Matrix or some shit like that. But
I don't either. And I got, so many people try and pigeonhole me in there. I want to slap them, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I've been the most vocal against that since the jump.
Right.
Or you know what they say? These Mandela effect people want you to get back into watching media and this and that. Dude, if I tell you something's Mandela affected, right? All you got to do is go check 5 seconds and see if it's changed. I'm not asking you to watch fucking 15 episodes of fucking, Days of Our Lives or something, dude.
Listen, I watch movies and I watch TV shows and I try to find, I try to find shit in them. I don't think that it's it's bad if you just sit all day and just fucking binge watch shit. But I watched that Mandela movie last night just to see what it was about. You know what I mean?
What do y'all think in the chat? Does anybody in the chat have a physical reality that's changed? Something that maybe nobody else knows about, but for you,
do we think that it's
changed for you?
Do we think that it's
in the chat? Thank you again, everybody, for joining. We're going to take this over to Rockfan, get into a couple more. We're going to keep going on this topic because obviously this is gravy for me, and I love learning about this since, like I said, I'm so new at all this. And I've already learned plenty, especially about that plane. Let's take it on over to Rock.
Here's proof that there's 2 more brand new people being brainwashed by Brian STAVELEY. And I feel sorry for these people because they're taking the bait.